Are we going again?
Looks like it.
Good.
Now we'll have questions.
Now for the Q&A.
Maybe answers.
Well, I'm a guy. I'll make up an answer.
Maybe answers. Yes.
But subliminal,
Yes.
subliminal
Yes.
Yes.
versus hypnosis. Can you speak about that?
Yes. Subliminal is just bypassing your conscious mind. It's not hypnosis. It's not changing your trance level or taking your brain waves down. It's just things that are below the level of conscious hearing, right? So are moving so fast visually that you don't see it. In movie theaters,
Back in the day.
advertisement, that's where you see all of this.
So back in the day, they made them stop, but when the movie theaters first came into place, they would put ads for popcorn, soda, candy, all the stuff they sell at the
Between frames.
between frames on the intro of the movie. Not a full ad where you saw, oh, go buy some popcorn.
You see popcorn.
They would have the, oh, welcome to the theater, popcorn. Glad you came, candy. Please go. I mean, and it was so quick, your conscious mind didn't see it or hear it or register it, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I think I need some popcorn. And they actually deemed that unethical because you didn't know it was there.
Right.
So that now, today, in modern movie theaters, they will show you the ad of dancing popcorn or soda, and then hopefully you'll get up and go get some. But they actually originally put it in subliminally so that you would trigger something. Again, please hear, it's probably something you want anyway or something you would do anyway.
Right.
It's not going to get you to do something you wouldn't do anyway.
But is it effective? For example,
It was very effective for popcorn.
Well, for popcorn, yeah, because it's a tendency. But for example, for self-confidence, self-love, and stuff like that, is that as effective as hypnosis?
No.
I would say no, because you're not in a low enough brainwave state for it to take effect.
The other
take
thing
hold.
is-
it's more along the lines of affirmations, just you aren't hearing them.
It's also someone else, yeah, it's affirmation. It's someone else making a statement that may or may not be real for you. And we're going to have to do a whole thing on affirmations at some point. Because, I'm sorry, if you think, if I stood in front of my mirror and said, I am 35 years old and youthful and strong, I could say that from now till I crawled into a casket and my body would not be 35 again and I would not be youthful. I might feel a little more energized, but it just isn't going to happen. What that means is the affirmation that you're saying is past the cutting edge or growing edge where you exist. And probably a better example of that is to say, let me get a good example.
A lot of companies who attempt to get you to buy their products or sell their products will say that you need to use affirmations of, I am a multi-millionaire, and you can't pay your rent. Ah, but I am a multi-millionaire, and you can't pay your electric bill.
And they just repoed your car.
I am a multi-millionaire, and that the affirmation should be enough because these people are standing up on stage and saying, I just did positive affirmations and I'm now a multi-millionaire. First of all, they're lying. Positive affirmations are not going to make you a multi-millionaire. A lot of really hard work is going to make you maybe a multi-millionaire.
Or in their case, finding people to con out of 1999.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's. Remember we talked about all that negative self-talk. It's too far out there.
Right.
And so just making a statement that's too far out there, your unconscious mind runs your life. Your unconscious mind goes, you say, I want to be a millionaire, and your unconscious mind goes, ha ha ha, you're never going to be a millionaire.
But if you take that affirmation back a little bit to say, I have money left after each payday, or I have a little money left at the end of the month, then you'll believe it, okay? It may be 3 cents, it may be $300, it doesn't really matter. Then when you get accustomed to, all right, I have money left at the end of the month, now you move it to, I have X amount of money in my bank account all the time. And your body goes, oh, that's possible. Your
It has
mind
to
goes,
be
that's
within the
possible.
belief system that you hold.
Correct.
It has to be within your
So
belief
you can
paradigm.
say something like, I have a little more.
Yes, yes.
Each month, right? So it
Correct.
has to be within your belief paradigm. And
So
if-
for the hypnosis as well, it has to be within close
Your
to your
belief.
belief, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be something you can accept.
something you can accept.
Correct.
That's why if we've said they can't make you do something
Correct.
That you wouldn't
won't
normally
that
do.
you won't normally do, that you are morally against.
So how
Right.
does that work, for example, for the hypnosis versus the, I don't like that word, but it's what is used nowadays, the shadow work. So for example, when you need to maybe work it out somehow versus the hypnosis will bypass that, will it work? You know what I'm,
So-
I'm going to make a distinction again between
Yeah,
hypnosis
right.
and guided imagery. All right. It's a fine line, but hypnosis is taking you deeper. Normally, when they're talking about doing shadow work, no, you cannot use it as a bypass. All right.
okay.
What you can do with shadow work and guided imagery is you can go back, imagine yourself in the scene where something happened,
Yeah.
or you had done something or something was done to you, and you alter the scene. And then you come back, and it alters the chemistry within your body when you do that.
But this is done in hypnosis, therapeutical hypnosis, for example. Or
I would just do it as guided imagery, not therapeutic
no,
hypnosis.
okay.
So is that like asking yourself for a shift of perspective?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be part of that, yes.
That's
Yeah.
what could be called shadow work.
So shadow work,
Sorry.
here's what shadow work is in a psychological realm.
Right.
So again, shadow work's something that's been picked up by metaphysicians, and some of them mean it the way that psychology originated with Jung, wasn't it Carl Jung and all of
Mhm.
that, and some of them have no idea what they're talking about. So go for it.
All right. Shadow work is finding those transparent beliefs, really and truly.
Correct.
All right. So it's about being able to step back from your normal day-to-day activities, look at the situation, talk about the situation, deal with the emotions of it face to face.
Correct.
Not trying to do this, or this.
Correct.
All right.
So that versus hypnosis towards healing.
It's both
and
and.
That
It's
will
both
change the
and.
perspective.
Yeah.
It will.
So it's both and. So what you'll hear from us is it's rarely either or. So if you do face your own demons,
Yeah.
that's shadow work. Look at the
Mhm.
parts of you don't want to look at, the things that happen, the things in your life that you really don't want to address. If you're willing to look at that through some kind of a therapeutic modality, whether
Yeah.
that's by yourself or journaling or with a therapist,
Yeah.
you deal with your shadows and you look at the things you don't want to look at. Then, in order to shift that perspective, so now I've looked at it, I accepted that part of me, I'm good with it, I've done some visualizations
Mhm.
and some childhood reparenting or whatever was needed. Now I own that part of me, and now I can go into the hypnosis and use the hypnosis to shift the program.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Earlier, then you stated what can maybe possibly potentially happen is that you will see something that you dislike, but before you say, oh, you hold that mirror up again and say, do I do that? To do the same thing, like continuously put yourself in that shadow.
Yes.
Right.
That's a great example, is to put yourself in, just to repeat it in case it wasn't on the thing, to put yourself in the position of seeing your shadow, that part of you that maybe you aren't as comfortable with or aren't as happy about, or a situation that you acted one way and you wish you did something different. When you put yourself in that situation, you face it and you embrace who you are wholeheartedly. You know, all of us have things we like about ourselves and things we don't. All of us have potential to be good and potential to be bad. It's just part of who we
Yeah.
are.
Where shadow work comes in the most for me is you may change a behavior, but you don't go and look at what's behind the behavior.
Correct.
All right, the shadow work is looking at what's behind the behavior.
And it's required in order to really like integrate that aspect.
Mhm.
And then you can integrate it,
Exactly.
and part of the integration can be done with self-hypnosis.
And it's really just about accepting that part of you as part of you.
Exactly.
Right.
Once you've accepted it and it's no longer unloved,
Yeah.
now the power, the gifts of that part can be brought forward. I'm going to give an example that'll probably piss off an entire industry here, but I'm sorry, if you stand up and say, I am an alcoholic, and all you've done is stop drinking, you have not done much other than stop drinking. You have not looked at what was underneath it. You have not looked at what will take you back to it and have a relapse. You have just stopped with one friggin' behavior, and that's it. You have to do the rest of the work. All right?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you were asking?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Did you have another question?
Well, yes, because so now that I'm looking for the transparencies and I'm experiencing the change of perspective because I've looked in the mirror into what's behind the behavior, learning to love all those parts of myself. Now what?
What else do you want to do?
That's a great question. Now what? That's
Yeah.
where I'm at right now.
That's your
Really
question.
seriously.
Now what? What do I do now?
Right.
Yes, what do I do
Right.
now?
So,
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
That's that.
How much
Now
more
what? What do I want to
for
do?
you to figure this out? To help me work through this portion. What do I want to do? I mean, how do you,
Yeah, so
can
the-
you use that to discover, okay, this is where I am seriously, I'm in this calm space.
Yes.
I have worked through all the googly-ga,
Mhm.
and now what's next? What's next? Because you're supposed to be moving forward.
Well, there's a transparent belief.
Supposed to be.
Okay, thank you.
There's a
That's how you
that's how
recognize
you
it.
do it.
That's how transparent they are.
Right.
So the belief that you have to be
Moving
doing
forward
something
or accomplishing anything
Thank you.
is another
is
transparent
another
belief.
transparent belief.
Okay, so I'm happy in my not really, is that why I'm sort of hanging there and not really accomplishing anything? Because I'm not unhappy, I'm pretty happy, I'm
Yeah.
really grateful.
So I think the question goes back to what are your beliefs about why you're here on the planet and what you're supposed to do. And I say that loosely because I don't think that there's anything you're supposed to do.
Mm-mm. You're here for an
So-
experience.
So if you're only here to be in that space of peace and total personal acceptance, and you're there,
You're there.
why do you have to do anything? Now you may choose to. You may go, hey, I'm bored, or hey, I need to make a living. You know, I mean, there may be something you want to choose to do next, but it's also maybe just a time where you be, and you don't accomplish, and you don't go and push, because those are, as we talked about, that's part of the societal hypnosis. Social hypnosis. Society says,
You
I
should
have to be doing
productive.
something. I have to be accomplishing something. I have to
I have to earn a living.
I have to have a, so again, if there's life things you need to be doing or accomplishing, that's different. But if you're just saying, I need to be productive, I need to do something, do you?
Okay, that's a very good question.
So if you're happy, just be happy.
Okay.
Just be happy. When you're ready to do something else, it'll
It'll show
appear
up.
and you'll do it.
You'll do it. It'll show up, you'll know what's next.
Yeah. If all you wanted to do was stand up from your chair and walk over and touch this wall, and you stood up, walk over and touch the wall, what else is there to do?
Decide.
You've done what you intended to do.
Do I want to stand here?
Right.
Then
That's the
it's the
next
question
decision.
is
Do I
now
want
what's
to touch the
next?
wall, or do I want to walk back to my chair and sit down? Or do I want to go hit the gong? What it is now, and ultimately, for me, and this is really just for me, it may be for Tricia, she can answer that on her own, but for me, really and truly, once there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. All right? I know we've heard that statement and we go, what the hell does that mean? But it is. It gets to that point. I don't have to accomplish anything to love myself. Matter of fact, if I'm accomplishing something, it's probably because I was bored by not doing it. So I just went to do something to have the experience. Right? But there's no longer any pressure about it. There really isn't. Does that make sense?
So
Yeah.
you just go for the experience that actually brings joy for you to do it.
Right.
Right.
You go for the experience that brings joy.
That's right.
And I would say that if you're in a space where you are looking at those transparent beliefs and you're accepting who you are and where you are and the space that you're in, that is a really good place that most people never get to.
Mm-hmm.
And to really absorb that to
And
allow
we-
that to get into your cells. I mean, like, take the afternoon, go have some tea, go have a wine, go hang out at the coffee, just be.
Yeah,
Just
enjoy it.
experience
Yeah.
life for a day or two and see what happens. When there's nothing to accomplish, nothing I have to do, I have to go, I have to, just what, in this moment, what would I like to do? I think I'm just gonna sit on the couch. Okay, great, sit on the
Really
couch.
funny. I just put this sticker of the world on this vision board, and you open it up, and then there's this cutout of all the traffic going this way, and then this one car in like this 8-lane highway going in the opposite direction. And the thing that I cut out that was put on it says, you don't have to do any of the chores. It will all just wait.
It will.
There's nothing to do. What you just said, it's like, okay.
Well, then you already have your answer, don't you?
Yes.
But it's fun to have the conversation.
It
Yes.
It backs up the,
It
Well,
does.
it's very necessary.
Excellent.
it's kind of lovely, actually.
Perfect. Right time, right place.
Now, I have said for years, and I always get these looks from people of, but you can't live life wrong. There is no possible way to live life wrong. And if you let go of your concern that you're going to do it wrong, how much more energy do you have at your ability to go live?
Have experiences.
Right.
If you want to travel, travel. If you want to go play golf, play golf. If you want to go bowling, go bowling. If you want to have coffee, have coffee. And it's just about having experiences of the
Right.
human condition. Just having experiences.
In oneness, there is nothing.
There is no
Please
lattes.
understand
there
that.
are no
There,
lattes.
there are no lattes. There is no chocolate. There is,
Oh, man.
There's not even. There's no sex. There's nothing. No thing. There is consciousness, but all of this is unmanifest in oneness. Right? There is only perfect silence, perfect peace. That's it. We Source created this so we can have materiality
Something to do.
and play. This really is a play zone.
Well, we can have experiences. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's not particularly learning lessons or to overcome past. I mean, we'll talk
It's
about
not
that
Earth
later.
School.
It's not Earth School. It really is just experiences.
It's playground. We're on recess here, folks. We just have forgotten
So
it.
can we use
But there's bullies
hypnosis
on
as
the
a
playground.
playground?
Huh?
Can we use hypnosis as a playground?
Sure.
Sure.
For example, if I suck at music,
Sure.
can I use hypnosis to, I don't know, to bring some of that knowledge so
If you
I
have the
can learn
physical,
with ease?
if you have the physical ability, all right. I am tone deaf. I don't care how far under hypnosis I go, my body is still tone deaf. Okay? So there's nothing that is ever nothing I can do with hypnosis that is going to make me a concert pianist. Right? It just isn't going to happen.
How about the singer?
Tone deaf.
Tone deaf.
He is. He is.
I am.
You know, mainly what you're going to use it for is in those instances, like with improving singing or musical abilities, is removing the fear that you're not good enough.
And even with your tone deafness, you can learn cadence, so you could play something simple like
He does the drum.
I do the drum
He
circles.
does drum circles, so it's because.
But what happened? But I'll be very honest with the drum circles. When they start changing the beat, I have to go back to the heartbeat
Yeah.
because I lose the beat like that.
So it's really
When
about,
they-
if you
when
think of
they
it more in
get too
terms of
fast.
the emotions associated with it. So if the reason that you
Rhythm?
don't sing well or you're afraid to sing is because of fear, afraid to sing or afraid to play an instrument or afraid you'll fail, those are things that
I
hypnosis.
want to paint, for example,
Those are
but I
things-
have the fear of
Yes.
actually trying it out because
Allowing
I
yourself
judge
to do it.
myself.
Then those are
Hypnosis
things
would work for
hypnosis
that.
can work
Okay,
for.
okay.
That would be something.
The other thing that can work for you is just go buy some finger paint and put your finger in it and pretend. that
Just
you're
play.
You
Right.
just play.
I have all that and I have not done it.
So then that's where hypnosis can come in.
Okay.
Is help that.
And-
All right.
Because
How do
it's
you-
a
Probably it.
Okay.
oh yeah.
It's okay. I just say we're probably at time to
Yeah.
wrap up.
Okay.
And we can continue talking if we want.
Yeah, because I want to.
This is probably the. Do you want to say something about that
Yeah.
down here?
One of the things you were asking me when you kind of under your breath a little bit or quietly about rhythm. All right. Yes, I have rhythm, But what's funny, and I know this is where hypnosis would probably help me, when I was playing basketball and I was out of my mind, and it was literally my body doing the playing, I could stop, I could start, I had wonderful rhythm. I felt the flow of the game. If I started thinking about it, I did not. The same is true with drumming. I start thinking about keeping whatever they're doing and I lose it.
Yeah.
I have to in essence not be mindful, but mindless, and let the mind, the thinking part of my ability go so I can be in their pattern. Whatever pattern.
And yes, hypnosis can help you
Yes.
let go of that fear
Anxiety.
and anxiety that's in the way. Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, thank you very much, and come back next week.